Wishtree by Catherine Applegate, so also the author of The One and Only Ivan. So this story starts with a poem by Mary Carolyn Davies from 1924. It's called Be Different to Trees. The talking oak to the ancient spoke, but any tree will talk to me. What truths I know I garnered so, but those who want to talk and tell, and those who will not listeners be, will never hear a syllable from the lips of any tree. So this one has chapters. So chapter 1. It's hard to talk to trees. We're not big on chit-chat. That's not to say we can't do amazing things you'll probably never do. Cradle downy owlets, like baby owls. Steady flimsy tree forts, photosynthesize. But talk to people? Not so much. And just try to get a tree to tell a good joke. Trees do talk to some folks, the ones we know we can trust. We talk to daredevil squirrels. We talk to hardworking worms. We talk to flashy butterflies and bashful moths. Birds, they're delightful. Frogs, grumpy, but good-hearted. Snakes, terrible gossips. Trees, never met a tree I didn't like. Well, okay, there's that sycamore down at the corner. Yakety, yakety, yak, that one. So, do we ever talk to people? Actually talk? That most people-y of people skills? Good question. Trees have a rather complicated relationship with people after all. 1 minute you're hugging us, the next minute you're turning us into tables and tongue depressors. So that's what the doctor puts in your mouth or like what a popsicle is even on. Perhaps you're wondering why the fact that trees talk wasn't covered in science class during those Mother Nature is our friend lessons. Don't blame your teachers. They probably don't know that trees can talk. Most people don't. Nonetheless, if you find yourself standing near a particularly friendly looking tree on a particularly lucky feeling day, it can't hurt to listen up. Trees can't tell jokes, but we can certainly tell stories. And if all you hear is the whisper of leaves, don't worry. Most trees are introverts at heart, and they're not so outgoing. So this book is in chapters, so chapter 2, but we're going to read it in parts. Now, it's speaking from the point of view of the Wishtree. That's kind of a fun idea on a story. Name's Red, by the way, so the tree's name is Red. Maybe we've met. Oak tree near the elementary school, but not too tall. Sweet shade in the summer, fine color in the fall. I'm proud to say that I'm a northern red oak, also known as Quercus rubra. Red oaks are one of the most common trees in North America. In my neighborhood alone, hundreds upon hundreds of us are weaving our roots into the soil like knitters on a mission. I have rigid, reddish gray bark, leathery leaves with pointed lobes, stubborn, searching roots, and if I do say so myself, the best fall color on the street. So that's what an oak tree leaf looks like, right down there. It's a miracle. Or come October, I look like I'm ablaze, like on fire. It's a miracle the fire department doesn't try to hose me down every autumn. You might be surprised to learn that all red oaks are named red. Likewise, all sugar maples are called sugar. All junipers are called juniper. And all boojum trees are called boojum. That's how the tree world is. We don't need names to tell one another apart. Imagine a classroom where every child is named Melvin. Imagine the poor teacher trying to take attendance each morning. It's a good thing trees don't go to school. Of course, there are expectations to the name rule. Somewhere in Los Angeles, there's a palm tree who insists on being called Karma. But you know how Californians can be. So there's a picture of a tree in there. Chapter 3. My friends call me Red, and you can too. But for a long time, people in the neighborhood have called me Wishtree. There's a reason for this, and it goes way back to when I wasn't much more than a tiny seed with higher aspirations, like wanting to become something bigger. Long story. Every year on the first day of May, people come from all over town to adorn me, like tie-ons, scraps of paper, tags, bits of fabric, snippets of yarn, and the occasional gym sock. Each offering represents a dream, a desire, a longing, So that's what the tree looks like when it's got all those pieces tied to it. Whether draped, tossed, or tied with a bow, they're all hopes for something better. Wish trees have a long and honorable history going back centuries. There are many in Ireland where they are usually hawthorns or the occasional ash tree. But you can find wish trees all over the world. For the most part, people are kind when they visit me. They seem to understand that a tight knot might keep me from growing the way I need to grow. They are gentle with my new leaves, careful with my exposed roots. After people write their hope on a rag or piece of paper, they tie it onto one of my branches. Usually they whisper the wish aloud. It's traditional to wish on the 1st of May, but people stop by throughout the year. My oh my, the things I have heard. I wish for a skateboard. I wish for a world without war. I wish for a week without clouds. I wish for the world's biggest candy bar. I wish for an A on my geography test. I wish Mrs. Gentorini weren't so grumpy in the morning. I wish my gerbil could talk. I wish my dad could get better. I wish I weren't hungry sometimes. I wish I weren't so lonely. I wish I knew what to wish for. So many wishes, grand and goofy, selfish and sweet. It's an honor, all the hopes bestowed upon my tired old limbs. Although by the end of the day, I look like someone dumped a huge basket of trash on me.